Now shifting focus to Karnataka. In a significant move, the Karnataka Assembly passed the 2025 Crowd Control Bill on Wednesday. This new legislation, viewers, comes 2 months after the June 4th Chinnaswamy Stadium Stampede. Remember, the Stampede claimed over 11 lives. Now this bill, which has been passed by the Assembly, aims at ensuring safety at mass gatherings and public events. In fact, this bill was introduced by the Karnataka Home Minister G Parameshwara and has been cleared by the Assembly. Now let's talk about the details of the bill as well. The Karnataka Crowd Control Managing Crowd at Events and Venues of Mass Gathering Bill 2025. So this bill essentially seeks to regulate permissions, enforce safety measures and also impose strict penalties for violations related to mass gatherings. In fact, the proposed rules hold events planners and executors accountable. Organizing unpermitted events may also attract imprisonment in the bill, in fact, and this could range from 3 to 7 years or could also attract fines up to rupees 1 lakh. So clearly very strict penalties have been outlined in this bill that has now been passed by the Karnataka Assembly. A bill aimed at ensuring that crowd control measures are implemented on the ground. And remember, it comes after the Chinnaswamy Stadium Stampede. Remember, this stampede claimed about 11 precious lives in the state. Now, my colleague Gautam Shankar is joining me on this story. Gautam, you've been tracking this story. It is the stampede that triggered the need for this bill, and I think it's much needed because when it comes to crowd control, India still struggles, in fact. So walk us through the details of this bill.
Yes, this is right about 2 months after this tragedy that occurred outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Now the Karnataka government has brought in a bill which has been labeled the Karnataka Crowd Control Bill, and this bill basically it prescribes a very hefty jail term and a very hefty fine for violators as well. Now, if we have to look at what this bill basically entails, it basically ensures that organizers will be held accountable and they will be held responsible for any kind of untoward instances. Suppose a stampede occurs or some sort of death due to this event being organized, then the organizers will be held squarely responsible. Now, if we have to look at what it really says, it says that this bill basically doesn't say that for events with less than 7,000 people, permission must be obtained from the local police inspector. And if it is above that, then the permission will be given by the deputy SP of police. And if it's a gathering of over 50,000 people, then the jurisdictional SP or the commissioner of police will be granting the permission as well. Now, besides all of this, if we have to look at what are the kind of punishments that are in force with regard to this bill, the organizers will have to take full responsibility for any incidents, including loss of life or damage and to public property and private property as well. And these organizers must execute an indemnity bond worth 1 crore rupees. Keep in mind that this is the very, very hefty amount that they have to execute a bond even before they organize such an event. And besides all of this, what we also given to believe is that if there is a violation and it leads to a death, then they are also the organizers can also be put behind bars for a life term as well. So this is the kind of very strict bill that is being enforced in Karnataka, and the bill is likely to be discussed in the assembly today as well. The state home minister has said that he's basically bringing in this to ensure safety norms and public events. But keep in mind that everything that went on after the Chinnaswamy Stadium Stampede as well, the Karnataka government basically fixed blame on everyone else except themselves as well. It was the RCB, the KSCA, the DNA networks, that was the event managers that were held squarely responsible. So right now, this bill basically looks like it is going to be holding the event organizers very closely because keep in mind that the DNA networks and RCB had challenged the Karnataka government's reforms as well. Now, this will be interesting to see what really happens and how the opposition will take it up. But right now, what we understand is that if fatalities occur due to crowd disasters, the punishment could extend to life imprisonment. That is the most prominent part of this bill.
Right, Gautam, I do think that these are much needed provisions that need to be implemented on the ground, especially the penalties that you just outlined, as deterrence really remains important in such cases. So thank you, Gautam, for joining us and giving us all the details on this.